All right, so we have a radio sent into the channel. It was donated by a company, Zhensheng Tong, and it is a Malahit. Let me turn this off. There we go. So I'm not going to review the radio because it's a Malahit. It's going to act exactly the same as every other radio. There are some differences in this particular one, though, and we'll take a look at those hardware implementations, the case, the battery, things like that, and what type of adjustment wheels it has and things like that. So it's all kind of mechanical things that's going to be different. The software and the hardware is basically the same as any other Malahit, and we'll compare it to this one here that I have. Let's see here. We'll at least receive something. Let me turn on the, oops, I didn't want to push that button. I wanted to push this button. Let's see here. This is,
runway 30 left and 30 right. Notice your intermission. 5, Northern Manufacturer San Jose International Airport.
So that's the weather at the airport. So like I said, it's a Malahit. It's going to act all the same way. It has a waterfall display.
5855, clear visual approach, runway 30 right, change runway 30 right, right 30 right, clear to land.
Clear the visual approach, 30 right, 30 right, clear to landing, Southwest 3855.
All right, so let's take off the antenna so it doesn't bother us. So yeah, let's take a look at some of the cosmetic differences and see if you want to buy this thing. Okay, like I said, I've reviewed a Malahit receiver before. It was this one here, and this one is going to be exactly the same, except it's in a different package. So let me turn this off. All right, so the two have the same display in them, but they are different thicknesses, okay? So there are many different models of this radio. This is a very thin model, and it's kind of PC board material case, which I wasn't a great fan of. This one has a really nice metal case, so this is extruded aluminum, and the boards slide in from one side. And it has a little wheels on the side, volume in megahertz, C-type connector for charging. So same as this one. The wheels are a bit different on this one. These are a bit bigger, stouter wheels. And here's the headphone jack. The headphone jack on this one's on the other side, so everything is on one side on this one. What I like about this one, like I said, is it's a much tougher metal case, and it has a bigger speaker in it, right? There's no really speaker grill on this one. And this one has holes in the back as the speaker grill. All right, so other differences, the antenna comes out the side, and here the antenna comes off the top. And they're about this one's a little bit bigger in X and Y, but not much. They're basically about the same. Yeah, let me show you a photograph here. I've opened up the, if you take out the screws on the antenna side, the whole unit will slide out, and you can take a look at it here. So obviously the battery is going to be much larger in this one since there's more room for it. I couldn't find, I shouldn't say, I couldn't remove the battery because this double sticky tape was too powerful. I didn't want to ruin anything. So I found another photograph online. I'll put it here. Shows you the layout of the board, and it's basically a 32-bit processor, SD processor, and it's all software-defined radio, all SDR. It does have switching on the antenna that sends it through different filters. So different bands have different selective filters before they go into the the processor for decoding. But yeah, I don't really know how much else there is to say about these things. Like I said, they're all about the same. What I do like about the radio is the case. What I don't like about the radio, again, same complaint I had on this one. I'm not a big fan of these wheels. I understand that a lot of people will like this particular version. There are other versions that have the knobs that stick out the side. I think the same company sells the ones that have the knobs out the side as well. So I think I would prefer one of those. Just if you're going to be tuning it around. If you're just going to do a set and forget, then these are probably better. But if you actually are twiddling the knob a lot, probably the ones that stick out are going to be better. They're going to be a little more fragile too. This will be a little bit more robust. It comes with the usual stuff. It comes with a USB charging cable. Comes with a telescopic antenna. So yeah, everything you need. I should mention, when I first turned the radio on, I'll put a video here. When I first turned the radio on, I noticed that it had very old firmware in it. It had version 1.0A. And I believe that was the very, very first one. And there's test software and then there's purchase software. So when you buy the radio, you'll get software that'll operate up to 200 megahertz. The hardware is capable of going up to 2 gigahertz, but you have to have the official firmware. So you need to contact the guy in Russia, and I think it's around $50. You get a license code, and then you can put the firmware in it that allows the radio to run its full capability, and it allows the actual designers of this thing to get some money, right? So the Chinese guys get some money for building it, but then the software developer gets some money for actually designing the product in the first place. So yeah, try to support that guy. So what I said was I noticed that the software was 1.0A, which is very, very old. So I flashed this one into the 1.10A. So the 1.10A is the last revision that allowed you to not have to activate the radio. I believe if you go to 1.10B, C, D, you then have to have a license to operate those, but the 1.10A will operate without that code. But again, it's limited to 200 megahertz, which is fine for a lot of people. So, no need to buy the firmware if you don't need to go up that high, I guess. Anyway, I think this will just be a short one. There's really not a lot of difference in these Malahit radios, and get the one you want.